Hey guys, Perry here, and I am very excited to bring you a Collider exclusive interview with two of the cast members from the upcoming Incredibles 2. We have Sarah Vowell and Huck Milner here, the voices of Violet and Dash. This is pretty exciting. I'm a very big Incredibles fan, and I can't believe after all this time, we're finally getting the sequel. So Sarah, I want to pose the first question to you. What's been going on since 2004 and today? Is it a constant, maybe you'll get a sequel?
You mean for me or for the characters? Or like I have more gray hair. I know Huck does as well. Except that Huck wasn't born when the first movie came out, right?
Nope, I was not.
Yeah, so we were just waiting around for Huck to be born.
That makes a lot of sense.
So there was that whole part of the development process. What was your question?
Was it a surprise when you heard that Incredibles 2 was a go, or was there constant talk behind the scenes after the success of the first film?
I mean, there was talk about it for a while, but, you know, these movies take a really long time to make. So I guess really it was maybe a 10-year lag in terms of getting started again. So, I mean, you know, Brad Bird had some projects he wanted to do. And, I mean, you're in a format where you have to do stuff every day, every hour, right? But
pretty much.
Animation is a 20th century art form where, you know, it takes 4 or 5 years to do one of these projects. So that isn't, 14 years isn't that long in animation time. I get that on the internet, that seems like ye olden days.
It's a tough thing we live with nowadays, but you know, as long as all that time goes into making a quality film, which in this case, it most certainly was, I am happy to wait all that time.
I mean, the cool thing is that the movie picks up right where the last one left off, and I've heard Brad talk about that because the characters' age and situation, the psychology of that is their story, you know, like how Elastigirl, her power is stretching and every mom is pulled different ways, and 10-year-old boys are like all energy and so I mean, Huck is a little tired from partying last night, but usually yeah, you are.
Am I?
Yeah, come on, amp it up, man.
Okay.
So, like, they had to stay those same ages, you know, and then the story just starts literally right where the last one. Yeah, and so even though you had to wait, the story continues.
Continues pretty seamlessly,
Yeah,
too.
so try to be more patient, you know.
I need to learn that in many more areas of my life
People make movies
besides
on
just
their
movies.
own time.
Huck, how was joining this project for you? Were you a big fan of the original?
Yeah, I really loved the original. My dad and my mom showed me it when I was around 5. I just really loved Dash. He was my favorite character, and yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit just about yourself? Because, you know, we go on IMDb and we look at someone's credits, and this is your first feature. So, you know, what do you want to do? Are you excited specifically about voice acting?
Well, I'm excited about voice acting, but I sort of want to do a actual action movie, sort of. But still, voice acting is really cool because it doesn't matter what you look like. You can just go into a booth and just say, oh, yeah, I'm this character now.
This isn't just his first movie. This is literally his first job, right?
No.
No, it's not?
No.
What's your first job?
I was, well, it's not really a job, I don't think.
You were a bank manager?
No, I was.
I would buy that.
I was on this little America's Got Talent little commercial where it was like making fun of the judges. I had to make fun of Howie Mandel.
Oh.
What'd you say about him?
I thought I sort of forget, like, someone sneezed all over the food, and I was like, don't touch me.
That makes sense. So what'd you have to do to audition to get this part?
Well, I had to send in an MP3 first, and then we got a call back, and it was just amazing when we got the call back. So I just practiced and watched the movie like 600 times, and then I said, I actually used that as an excuse to watch the movie more. So, yeah.
And do you have to try to sound like the original Dash, or does it come naturally to you?
Well, I used to have to try, but now, I think I still have to try to make myself sound like him, but I think it's just like a part of me now, so I don't have to. I'm enthusiastic, I'm very energetic, so I think that I'm becoming Dash.
I wanted to ask you about your experience doing the voice work for the first film compared to this one. Is there anything about that process that has changed over the years?
I mean, when the first film, I'm not an actor, and I got that part originally in the first film because Brad Bird heard one of my documentaries for public radio, and I had never acted before, and I was a little more terrified the first time around, just not knowing how to do that or what the whole thing would be like, and that was, I guess, nearly, like 17 years ago. So I have been this character off and on for 17 years. So I am a little more comfortable with being her and, acting. I mean, all of the stuff about her that's like me, her sarcasm, and she's a bit of a wise guy, and she maybe says truthful things at inopportune moments. All of that was pretty easy, but public radio is pretty low key, and certain things about animation have to be literally more animated, and so, or there are just things you have to do like scream or make the sound of being hit, and all of that stuff was a real process, learning how to deal with that. And I mean, there's one scene in this movie where Violet does a big spit take.
Was wondering about that.
And to do that, I basically had to waterboard myself, just like pour all this water down my throat. And then after a while, I just vomited all over the studio, which is another thing that does not happen in public radio. But it is a more physical process.
How'd Brad respond to that?
Everybody was kind of concerned, I have to say.
If that happened in this studio ever, I would be highly concerned.
Yeah, I immediately texted Patton Oswalt, who was Remy and Ratatouille. I was like, I just threw up all over the studio. And he's like, I never vomited once.
What's harder for you, Huck? Is it getting your lines right, or is it doing all of the... What are they? Are they called efforts when you have to do, like, not dialogue,
Vokes,
but...
I think.
What are they? Vokes?
They're called vokes.
Someone told me efforts once.
I'm guessing it comes from vocalizations. I don't know. That's what they call them at Pixar.
Is there any one of those that's most challenging for you?
Well, I like doing the vokes because, well, you can just make a sound, but I think they're more challenging because you have to pretend like that's actually happening to you. You have to pretend like you're, if I'm running really fast, I have to be like, like breathing heavy or something. And it's sort of harder for me to do that, but at the same time, it's hard for me to do like little, like long lines because I have to say them pretty fast because Dash talks really fast sometimes. So yeah.
I mean, when I first started having to do those, like the sounds where in the first movie, Violet was hit a few times, usually by her brother, and I would tell Brad Bird, like, you're going to have to come over here and punch me. And so I would stand at the microphone, and he would just stand there and punch me in the arm, and then I would go, But it's, you don't get that sense when you're watching the movie, all this sausage being made, but they really do take all the best takes, luckily for us.
Well, it definitely came out great in the final feature. I have a feeling you're going to get asked this a couple of times promoting this movie, but I'm curious because I enjoy thinking about it. If you had to pick any super in this movie and you could acquire their power set, who would you pick and why?
Dash. Because I'm a really slow runner and I lose at every game of tag, and I like running around, and like I said before, I'm pretty energetic, but I'd win in every game, and yeah, I'd just love to be Dash.
I'm on your side with that one. I want to be Dash so I could be super fast because I do like running, and I want to be faster, but also because Dash can eat all those pancakes and egg rolls, and that would be fun.
I would love Mr. Incredible's strength because even though I'm playing a junior high school student, I'm actually a middle-aged lady. I'm starting to get arthritis in my hands, and I need those like weird grandma rubber things to open jars of jam and stuff. I would just be like much more dignified to just be able to open a jar of jam like unaided, and other strength things.
I've got one of those in my apartment too.
I mean,
it's fine. You
I
need
always
it
have to
sometimes.
like pay people to move my couch or whatever. It would just be so much easier to be really strong.
Now to wrap this up, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves here, but I love this film. I have a feeling that moviegoers out there are going to love this film. If Incredibles 3 is a go, what would you want to see happen to the Parr family change? Because the one thing that's stuck on my mind now is I want to see them get a pet. I want to see them get a dog.
A dog.
I think Dash would not really be good with a dog because he's gonna.
I mean, there's a scene in this new movie where, like, Dash does this puppy thing where he's like
Yeah.
he's wet and he's doing that puppy thing, trying to like dry himself off. You know, I think Dash and that puppy would, you know,
Get
have a lot to
along
compete
nicely.
about. I want them to have friends. Actually, I mean, there's this moment toward the end of the movie where Violet has a kind of friend moment with this other character, and it's like, oh, wouldn't it be nice for them to, you know, just have some friends?
Like Dash doesn't. You never really get to see Dash have any friends except for, well,
He and
Lucius,
Violet
maybe.
can sometimes be friends, don't you think?
No,
No?
not really.
No.
Not really.
There
They're
were a
usually
couple of
fighting
them.
a lot of times.
They are fighting a lot, but, you know,
I want to see Jack
maybe
fight
when they get
crime.
older, they'll be friends.
I would believe it. I was believing there was some charm to that sibling rivalry this time around.
Yeah.
That
A
is all-
dog. Come on. No.
No,
Really, every movie minus horror movies need dogs.
what about a cat?
Or a cat. I'll take a cat too.
Yeah. That's what people always say about Apocalypse
What about a
now.
rat?
Not enough dogs.
What about a raccoon?
I need to alter that statement at some point.
Yeah.
That's a good point to bring up.
Yeah.
The raccoon, that made me happy.
Yeah, if there was a raccoon pet, I think it would die in the last 2 days.
That's probably true. It was one of my favorite sequences in the entire movie. I have to thank you guys for being here right now. A huge congratulations on the movie. Everybody out there, I can't recommend it enough. Check out Incredibles 2 in theaters, June 15th. See it, and we'll see you soon.
Hey everybody, Mark Ellis here. Thanks for watching this episode. You want to watch more? Then click up here, or you can click right here for more great content from Collider. If you haven't subscribed to Collider Video, do so right now and share this vid with your friends. Thanks for watching.